This is KMTV. My name is Nathan Charles, sitting in the presenter seat on this beautiful day. It's Friday, May 10th, 2024. Welcome to the Diaspora Talk. Wherever you find yourself in the diaspora in Liberia, we're looking at issues from Liberia. As you know, the Liberian government had a twist after they urged motorcyclists not to plow major streets in central Monrovia. For a few days, police and motorcyclists, including some officials, have been networking, and now the government had another twist. These are other things we're going to be talking. On the flip side, very shortly, we'll be joining a special guest from the Minnesota Africans United. What are they doing to help rebuild or encourage entrepreneurship in the Twin City of the United States of America? A guest will be joining us very shortly. On few minutes after our first guest, we'll be talking to Mr. Randy White. He is the marketing director of the Optimum Lending Incorporated. What do they offer our diaspora community? This is the Diaspora Talk. Let's take this teaser. When we come back with John Elizabeth Khan from the Minnesota African United on the Diaspora Talk. My colleague Cyrus McGill could not join us today, but I'm here sitting pretty in the presenter seat. Joanne Prowse here may likely join us on the program, the Diaspora Talk. And don't forget the DEA, the Liberian Drugs Enforcement Agency, arrested a lady who was transporting illegal substances, we call it coach, in Liberia. Abraham Kroma and team at the same time protest is ongoing in Bomi County again. Liberians are yearning for better incentive. Some of the aggrieved people want the Joseph Yvonne Barker leadership to ensure their welfare are protected. That some aggrieved workers there urging the government to ensure decent work for its citizens. At the same time, you saw over the last week, motorcyclists have been ramping on a rampage in the streets of Monrovia. They want the government to ensure that the plans set in place in Liberia. Representative Yeke Colby and some motorcyclists have been knocking the doors of the Liberian government. We'll come back, we'll discuss all of these political activities in Liberia. But let's go over quickly to Elizabeth Khan. She's the marketing consultant for Minnesota Africans United. Welcome to the Diaspora Talk, Elizabeth.
Thank you so much for having me. Um, yeah,
Tell us, who is Elizabeth and what group do you work for?
I'm Elizabeth. I'm the marketing consultant for Minnesota Africans United. We're a nonprofit, 501c nonprofit in Minnesota, and we support the African immigrant community populations through business and various agricultural, horticultural, and other aspects. Yeah.
So tell us about this program you have coming up very soon for entrepreneur. You say the simple step to starting a business series. Let's hear more from that.
Of course. So we're super thrilled to be hosting a event called Simple Steps to Starting a Business Series. Our goal is to create the tools and also provide the skills for specifically Minnesota African immigrants to be able to build up their businesses and build up some entrepreneurial skills. It is going to be a 5-week program consecutively, and it's a seminar style series. So we're going to have a bunch of various professionals coming in their specialized fields talking about various things. So one of the areas that we're going to focus on is evaluating your business idea, also developing a marketing strategy, understanding business financials, and to identify the best ways to fund your startup business. So we have, like I said, 5 different weeks that we're going to focus on. And the first week, we're going to be focusing on startup basics. So just basics on business. What is business? What is entrepreneurship? How to get started with that. The second week is going to be focused on business concepts. So this is going to kind of move on from just the basics and providing more conceptual ideas of what it means to start a small business. And then the third week is going to be marketing strategy. So it's an opportunity to learn more about how to market yourself, how to brand yourself as a small business. And the fourth and fifth session are going to be focused on more financial aspects. So cash flow, funding sources, and also a lot of other financial matters. So our main goal is just to provide a opportunity for participants to really get a comprehensive opportunity to learn a lot of skills, to be able to start their own businesses, follow their dreams, and be able to be empowered. And the last thing is we have graduation that's going to be held in St. Louis Park at the Bremer Bank location there, and that's going to be on the 21st. And I would also like to point out too that we have a lot of MAU as well as SCORE, who is one of our sponsors, mentors and resources. So all participants will have the opportunity to be able to have mentorship and also business resources and toolkits to be able to bring home with them and to be able to continue to grow and fulfill their dreams. What else was going to say? So just to kind of plug into the event is funded by the Minnesota Employment and Economic Development Department, as well as Brooklyn Park's American Rescue Plan Act. We also are partnered with the Anoka Ramsey County College and SCORE, as I said below, as well as Bremer Bank. And we're just super excited to be able to bring this to the African immigrant community in Minnesota and provide them with the resources as well as the opportunities to be able to, like I said, create small businesses and uh, add more to society with all of their great ideas and innovation and everything. If you want to learn more and if you would like to register for this event, you can go to our website, www.mnafricansunited.org. And we would love to have you there. And it's, like I said, just a really great comprehensive series that we've done before, and we actually have someone who has her marketing business now, and she's a social media manager. She gained the skills from that, and she's helping us promote this event now too. So there's success stories within success stories from this now too, which is very exciting, and it's nice to see true success stories come out of it, and to see people really get empowered and kind of find their voice and find their business and finding that empowerment to be able to that. So it's very, very exciting.
My colleague Joanne Prousey just joined us remotely. People like Joanne, who has entrepreneurship mindset, how can they form part of this? How can they contact you?
I believe the question he's asking is how can you be contacted if there are people
Oh,
who are interested in it?
oh, is that for me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that. So you can contact us. The easiest way would be to, like I said, go onto our official website, www.mnafricansunited.org, and register there. And everything will kind of go through there. And also for the series too, you'll be able to learn more about it. I'm sure that I missed a few things, but we have more descriptions and more about sponsors, funding, resources on there as well, to be able to get a more comprehensive look at what this great small business series is all about.
All right. Thank you so much for the time sharing with us on the Diaspora Talk and informing our people. We hope that our Liberian community, Ghanaian, people from Somalia, and other African descendant will take advantage of this opportunity. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, and we hope to speak to you on the next edition of the Diaspora Talk. Have
Thank you so
yourself
much.
a great day.
Thank you so much.
Okay. That's Elizabeth Khan there. She's the marketing consultant for Minnesota Africans United. They are hosting a 4 week training for entrepreneurship. According to her, they will be showing you about business planning, marketing, QuickBooks, financial statement leading to cash flow of your business. Join. This is indeed a great program.
I
Entrepreneurship.
came, although I came on late after she was already presenting, but I was really impressed and, just listening to her talk about opportunities for Africans in the diaspora starting their own business. I am excited for this opportunity. A lot of Africans, well, a lot of people in America being immigrant, I of this mentality that America, you only work for people and you're working and living hand to mouth and you're not able to save or do anything else. But now, you can see that there are opportunities that are coming for people to actually do a lot of things for themselves and be able to help themselves. This opportunity coming to you to be an entrepreneur and, learn firsthand, start your own business. You get coached on it. You get the opportunity to do a lot of things that, how do you start your business, what are things you're going to need, what are resources you're going to need to start your business. And there are having all of those things brought to us. I think it is a privilege, firstly, and all of us should jump onto this opportunity to learn more. Even if you are not ready right now, even if you're not in a place to start your own business, but just going through with this training and just learning, and whenever you're ready to get onto it, you are going to have that experience already. You're going to have the knowledge already on how to go about with it. So right now, just by taking up the opportunity to learn about entrepreneurship, about starting your own business. And whenever you're ready to, it doesn't have to be right now. It doesn't have to be today. But whenever you're ready to, you already have that at the back of your mind. You already have that opportunity, that advantage on starting. So this is a really great opportunity for Africans.
Indeed, it's indeed a good opportunities for African. Let's move to our next guest. He's pretty seated in our studio, Mr. Rennie White. He's the marketing director, Optimal Lendings Incorporated. They are doing a very great work in the Twin City, Minnesota. What are they engaged into? Rennie is in our studio. Welcome to KMTV Diaspora Talk, Rennie.
Thank you, Nathan, for having me here today.
You
To
can speak in the microphone. Yeah, yeah.
Sure. Thank you for having me here today to share with you kind of about optimal lending, the services that we provide, not just to the immigrant community, but to individuals at large, and then also what I personally bring to the table, in addition to providing lending services as well.
Indeed, lending. When people hear lending, they're like, big money. What's going on with the lending? What kind of lending are you doing?
Sure. So maybe to use another term that people are much more familiar with, it's called a broker,
Okay.
a real estate broker. And essentially, real estate brokers are people or entity that provide financial services, entity that you can work with to get approval for purchasing home, purchasing real estate. We have different programs. We specialize in first-time home buyer programs. We can also facilitate down payment assistance. We facilitate refinances, conventional, non-conventional loans, and then also USDA for any individuals that are interested in like farming and things like that. If you need funding, if you have a special project, you need funding for any kind of agricultural, farm-related projects. We also provide those type of fundings as well. And Optimal Lending been in the Twin City for going on 15 years. I've personally been a real estate investor going on 8 years. I've provided consultation, but then I just started to get involved into the broker side of things, and to be able to provide that to our community is something that I'm very excited about.
Okay, very excited to provide opportunities to our community. Now, let's go into the big picture.
Sure.
I see on the screen buy now with zero down. You also have first-time home buyers can qualify for no down payment. Run us through some of your programs, because people want to become a homeowner. Run us through some of your programs, your
Sure.
lending opportunities.
Sure. And before I talk about the lending program, this is one of the things that I will recommend. And before I talk, most times I've seen, especially when it comes to the Liberian community or the diaspora immigrant community, is that when we have the urge or when we have the desire to purchase home, it's when we start to engage either a realtor, a lender, or the banks.
But that's the best time.
Well, you would think that is the best time.
Okay.
My recommendation is when you have thoughts about becoming a homeowner. See, home ownership in the U.S. has a lot of financial implications when it comes to generating wealth. Being a homeowner in Liberia, you just get your money, you get it, buy a cement, you build your blocks and things like that. But when you have thoughts about becoming a homeowner, you want to engage people like myself that can educate you. Because sometimes it might take you 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, or 2 years to prepare so that you can make informed decisions. But for optimal lending, as you rightly stated, we do have the ability to qualify first-time home buyer for what is known as the down payment assistance program. This is not something that is very unique to optimal lending. It's more so a government-funded program that any first-time home buyer have the ability to qualify for. Now, you want to partner with a lending partners like myself that can really get you qualified for the maximum amount of down payment assistance, anywhere from $5,000 to $17,000.
What is the down payment assistance? What is it like?
There you go. Good question. So, a down payment assistance is a loan that is offered by the federal government. Interestingly, is a 0% interest loan. So you can get qualified for up to $17,000. And when people say down payment assistance, let me just simplify. When you're going to buy a home, either first-time home buyer, you need to put down some money that goes towards the transition of that home. Sometimes the down payment can range anywhere from $12,000, $15,000, $20,000. The down payment assistance is a special loan that you get qualified for as a first-time home buyer, 0% interest. In addition to that, you don't have to pay that money back as long as you live in the home and you have the original mortgage terms. So the only time you have to pay that money back, again, it doesn't occur any interest. If you are selling a house, so you want to relocate, or you are refinancing out of the original terms of the mortgage, then that's where the primary lender will get paid first. The down payment assistance program will get paid whatever you took out the original outstanding balance, and then whatever proceed that's left goes towards your pocket. Interestingly, a lot of people in our community don't know about the down payment assistance, and so when people reach out to me, a lot of times they're like, "Oh, I need to save money. I need to save money." It's like, okay, do you know that there is a program out there? Oh, I don't want a second loan. It is a loan, but it's a loan that doesn't cost you anything, right? You just need to, and it's only available to first-time home buyer. So if you've been involved in a home buying transaction before, unfortunately, you're not qualified. But if you're a first-time home buyer, you have the ability to get qualified for $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 to bring towards the closing costs. That's where we use the term that you can buy now with zero down. Because if you're qualified for $15,000 via the down payment assistance program, and your closing cost is $12,000, guess what? You walk to the closing table with nothing. And that loan is 0%, so it's not occurring any interest.
I see my colleague Joanne laughing. Oh, you have any question?
well, maybe people, sometimes we say some of us we can just we listen to things and not listen to the full story and kind of run with one part of it. So I'm trying to listen attentively, so I'll make sure I'm hearing and understanding everything you're saying. And one thing I'm understanding from you is you're with a group that you're not just doing lending, but you're also a realtor. Is that correct?
So I'm not a realtor. I am a real estate investor.
Okay, and
So
you're
so
saying very. So, are you working with realtors when people find their homes, or are you working with people directly? So, what I'm trying to understand is, will people have to reach out to you directly for the loan, or will the realtors who are helping them find their homes have to help them reach out and do the application and everything?
that's a loaded question. So allow me to share a little bit of backstory. So
Okay.
I've been a real estate investor for going on 8 years.
Hmm.
I also provide free consultation to
Sure.
first time home buyer, to individuals that want to become a home buyer, but then also want to invest in real estate. What is it like to become an investor? So I provide consultation. Up to this time, every time I provide consultation and we get the determination that this individual is ready, I would then transition them to lenders that I have within my network. So lenders and also realtors. With me now having the ability to provide the lending services, personally, I provide the one-on-one consultation.
Hmm.
We meet, we sit down, we discuss your financial situation, we discuss your desire to become a homeowner. I share with you what are the possibilities. I also share with you and encourage you along the path of becoming an investor. Once you're ready to apply, I sit down with you because now I'm a member of the optimal lending team. I sit down with you, walk you through the application process, and actually help you to get qualified, and then can partner you with realtor if you have a realtor of your choice. We can work with those individuals as well. So there's three things going on. One, I'm a real estate investor. I buy properties, I fix and flips myself. Two, I provide the one-on-one consultation, and then three, I am also provide the lending services as well.
So the simple thing that she was asking, most people get confused. You have to be pre-qualified from a lender
Yes.
before any agent.
Any realtor will, and it goes back to what I said, right? Being a homeowner in the U.S. is different from being a homeowner back home. The home ownership back home is much more of a simplistic approach, right? You have the funding, you buy the land, you buy the cement, you get a contractor, you build your house. In the U.S., well, everything is tied to the American dream, and so becoming a homeowner, right, has a lot of financial implication. And that's why I recommend when people have the desire to buy a home, right, it's not the time for them to just jump into the market right away. That's my recommendation. Right or wrong, the reason why I say that is, especially as a second generation immigrant, home ownership has a lot of financial implication. You want to inform yourself. You want to be an informed buyer. You want to understand what are your credit score implication. You want to understand the different properties that you have access to. Nathan, you and I have talked about just even as a first-time home buyer, you have an opportunity to be an investor on your first
Share with our
transaction.
audience.
So, and if anyone's listening out there, take a pen and paper and write this down. Go to YouTube. Write down the term owner occupied. Not too many of us are aware of it, but this is an opportunity that it gives you the opportunity to acquire single family homes, all duplex, triplex, or quadplex. And the federal government allows you with an FHA loan to acquire anywhere from 1 to 4 units. This is an opportunity that has significant financial benefits. It allows you to have immediate supplemental income. If you have a purchasing power of $450,000 and you use that $450,000 to purchase a single family home, from my perspective, that's a liability. You've just acquired a liability, right? It's exciting for you to purchase a first time home, but you need to work for that home. You need to get up every day, go to work. That mortgage is not going to stop. And worst case scenario, right? If you are married and you have a spouse or you have a significant other, and both of your income is used to maintain that mortgage, What happens if your spouse or yourself get laid off? What happens to the worst case scenario? Your spouse is deceased. How do you then carry that mortgage? And so I always advise people, your first three transactions into purchasing home should always be multifamily. Find yourself a duplex. This is where you have side-by-side units. You live in one, you rent out the other one. You have a supplemental income immediately, and you don't have to have any experience to do this. This is something I've coached, I've mentored, I've provided consultation to many people that have gotten into it. And it financially, once you get involved, your financial situation changes drastically. Imagine a situation where you have a single family home, your mortgage is $2,000. You need to come up with that $2,000 every single month, right? You're working for that home. But for a multifamily property, you're living in one, you have a tenant living the other side, right? Your mortgage is $2,000. Your second unit is bringing in $1,500. Your only liability is $500, right? Just think about that. If you're a second generation immigrant like myself, you can work part-time at given that scenario. You can work part-time, you can prioritize your schooling, right? Because you have a supplemental income. But when you move into a single family home where your mortgage is $2,000, you have no flexibility to work part-time. You have no flexibility to do anything. You have to work for that home, and you need to maintain that home.
So are you saying if I'm qualified for $350,000, I can use that money to get a multi?
Absolutely.
How?
So your purchasing power tells you the valuation of the property you can acquire.
Nathan, you're
Now,
kind of overexcited about this opportunity. You seem
Yeah, I
like you're
mean,
ready to start purchasing duplexes.
and I see
How
you
many
laughing
duplexes are you
too.
going to get?
Yeah, this sounds new. Go ahead, Randy.
what you do with that purchasing power is totally up to you. Like I said, you can buy a mansion, you can buy a home in Mankato, Maple Grove, right? But you have that purchasing power. Where you allocate it to is totally up to you. And this is the great thing about the multifamily investing, is that if you use your purchasing power to acquire a single family home, that is your ceiling. So if I qualify you, Nathan, for $400,000 based on your income, you can only purchase a home up to $400,000. But if you take that $400,000 and say, hey, Randy, I'm going to purchase a duplex, right? Your purchasing power now is not $400,000. The reason being, you have a supplemental income, a projected supplemental income coming from that second unit that we would then use and give you credit for at a basis point of 75%. That would take your purchasing power from 400,000 to 450.
Come back, explain. Take your time. It's like you eat this too much.
Okay.
Come back.
So when you go through the pre-qualification process,
Okay.
you get your pre-qualification letter that states what the value in which you can buy.
Okay.
Now you take that letter to a realtor. They have an understanding what property you can purchase. The reason why that is important is, let's say you're qualified for $350,000. That realtor needs to know so that they don't take you to mansions that cost $2 million.
Okay.
Right? So your purchasing power is on the pre-qualification letter.
From a lender.
From me now,
okay.
the lender.
Okay.
What I'm saying, that pre-qualification is based on your income. The qualified income that you provided me, that we have verified. But if you were to take that purchasing power that we have given you via the qualification process to purchase a single family home, you cannot exceed that purchasing power. That is your limit. The reason why that is your limit, because we have used the process to verify what you can afford. Right? And that's some of that's some of the background work that we would do. Take your income, your asset, your liability, and say, okay, Nathan, this is how much you're making, this is how much you can afford. Go look for a house within this budget. But if you take that pre-qualification letter and you say, hey, Randy, I'm not buying a single family home. I'm actually buying a duplex. And this duplex is giving me a projected income. Right? Because when we qualify you, we didn't qualify you with a projected income. We qualify you with an actual income that we can verify.
But if I'm a first-time home buyer or with the FHA, it said you should live in that property. And you talk about projected income.
Right.
Explain more.
Sure. So the FHA mandate that is an owner occupier. So if it's a duplex, they mandate that you live in one of those units for a minimum of 12 months. But the second unit is an investment property. You can't live in both units, right? You live in one, you get a tenant for the second one. So once you have met that minimum requirement of 12 months, guess what? What do? You go and do the same thing.
It's legal.
Of course.
Because
No, it is. And you see, right, the reason why I'm so excited about this stuff, because our community don't know about this stuff.
No, we do not. No, we do not.
It,
And a lot
it
of people listening to you might be thinking that you're just exaggerating.
right.
And so you really need to go over this. And maybe you should come back on the show to do this again, because a lot of people, like myself, it's my first time hearing about this. And this is it sounds like a really great opportunity.
It's it and unfortunately, the demographic in Minnesota, the builders in Minnesota are not building as much triplex and quadplexes. When you move towards the East Coast, you have more triplexes, you have more quadplexes. Imagine buying a quadplex where your mortgage is, call it $4,000. A quadplex is 4 units.
Yeah.
It's perfectly legal. You can Google it, you can YouTube it. You live in one unit, you rent out the other three. Those 3 units, the rental income for those 3 units is basically paying for your mortgage. You live there for 12 months. What do? You move out. You rent out that 4th unit. You find another duplex, and you do the same thing. I know multiple kids under 25 that have gone through this for the last 2-3 years. Unfortunately, I was one of those that took my purchasing power and I bought a single family home. And like I always tell my wife,
did mine too.
If I had this knowledge, trust me, I don't think we'll be living in this home now. We'll probably be on our 3rd or 4th duplex, duplexes or multifamily home. And it's a significant financial tool. Significant. A lot of times people think it takes a lot of experience to become a real estate investor. No, you can start to become a real estate investor on your first purchase. On your first purchase. And so not just do I not just provide the lending services. I'm able to sit down with you, coach you, because a lot of people I talk to are like, hey, I want a house. Why do you want a house? Well, my family we want to settle down. Okay, well, how do you want to settle down? Why can't you settle down in an apartment? So I'm trying to build that mindset to say, listen, the reason you want a house in America because it's greatly associated with the American dream. But don't get fooled by it. The American dream is financial stability. You don't want to work for a house. You want an asset that works for you.
Right.
And so having a duplex, that tenant, they pay you every month. They come to you in a regular check. So you have a duplex, your mortgage is $2,000. You rent out that second unit. If you're lucky to get something in Brooklyn Park where the rent is just astronomically high, you rent out a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom for $1,500.
Yeah, a 2-room apartment costs what? A one two based on the area, a freely other stuff. Brooklyn Center alone says 1,200.
Yeah, and people don't think this stuff is real, but I'm telling you, it is legit. Just YouTube it, owner occupy, Google it. You can take your first time home buyer qualification letter and buy 1 to 4 units. Now, the federal government doesn't allow you to exceed 4 units because anything of 5 plus is considered commercial. Okay. Right. So now when you want to purchase via a commercial approach, you got to play to a different regulations. The FHA doesn't approve you to use the funding for commercial properties because that's a different regulation. Those are different guidelines. But from 1 to 4 units, that's residential. If you're able to get a triplex, that's 3 units side by side by side. Some of them are stack up. I personally, I don't like the stack up units because I think they are much more cumbersome to manage. They don't appreciate as much, and people don't like the idea of someone living on top of them, right? But if you have the side by side units, if you're able to get one of those bro, I'm telling you right now, don't sell it.
You lenders, there are multiple complaints that you discriminate. You guys, like you said, one thing you said that you provide free consultation. Uh, most lenders don't do that. So why are you doing that?
So it's I will give you a little bit, and I'll tell you why I do it. When the market crashed in 2008, the federal government, Congress, understanding how people lost their investment, they put a lot of regulations out there. Some things for RESPA, HMDA. There's a lot of regulations now that predatory lenders have been penalized. You can go to jail for 30 years or be fined $1 million. And so the overt predatory lending has scaled down. But it goes back to why I recommend people the time to engage a lender is not when you have the urge and the desire to buy. And if you're not informed, guess what? I may not do it intentionally, but because I know you're not informed, there's certain things I won't disclose to you. Right? From a lending perspective, there's certain things that services I can provide to allow you to, like what I'm sharing with you right now, the owner occupier. No lender is going to tell you, say, hey,
We just hearing that,
go buy a duplex.
Yeah.
Right? No lender is going to tell you that. They're going to tell you, hey, I approve you for 400. You can't go over 400, but they're not going to tell you, hey, Charles, by the way, the letter says 400, but if you go and get a triplex, if you get a duplex, this thing can go up to 450 or 500. Right? And there's the reason why I do that is specifically this. I'm a second generation immigrant, right? Our parents came here, worked multiple jobs, did struggle to get acclimated into a culture that is highly systemic. If you don't have access to information, I'm telling you right now, wealth generation in America is based on two things: accessibility to information and accessibility to human capital. If you look in our community, right, we have access to the human capital, but we're very limited when it comes to the information part.
Yeah.
And because we don't have the right information, we we buy houses emotionally. You want a granite countertop, you want 5 bedroom, right? But you're signing yourself up to work for the house for 30 years. I mean,
it's like digging a hole and just putting money inside.
I'm telling you, maybe it's just me, but bro, I don't want to enslave for a house. I want an asset that works for me. Right? And if you start to do this generationally, by the time your daughter is going to college, you pass off 2 duplexes to her. Do you know what that does for her? It's set them apart. They don't have to take out the loans that you and I did. They don't have to work the 2, 3 jobs like you and I did. Right? They have an asset that's producing for them. They can work part time. They can travel the world. When you see people relax, traveling, and doing all those things, these are some of the benefits, right? That we don't have.
So I mean, Julian have multiple questions. Like you saying, I just want to allude to that. If you got a home, if you purchased like I did 3 years ago, 12,000, close to over 13,000 in Kansas City for my entire mortgage. Now the house is about close to 75. So if I move my 36 or $38,000, I still have some equity in the house. It's like I kept digging 12,000 a year into a hole, but at least there's equity in that. Julian, you have a question for Randy or something to say?
I kind of had a couple of questions that he did explain. One thing I would want him to at least leave when he's something that he should leave back when he's done for the day or when he's leaving studio is at least to leave his contact information, because I know a lot of people might be interested in reaching out to him with everything he's talked about so that they could get one-on-one time with him. And then another thing I wanted to know of was like, is this opportunity just, within Minnesota, or do you lend out to people everywhere in the US?
So Optimal Lending, we're in 3 states. We're in 3 states. We're in Minnesota. We're in Texas. We're in Atlanta. With me joining the team, I am going to be working with the owners to identify Because I'm Liberian, clearly there's bias there to identify states that are high in the population of Liberians. We're thinking about, Pennsylvania. We might do, North Dakota and stuff. But right now, we are in 3 states: Minnesota, Texas, and Atlanta. But as far as my consultation goes, and this is what I share with Nathan, the value, my idea is to share value with you so that you can seek it, beneficial to continue to leverage not just the services I provide, but continue to, use optimal lending. My consultation goes to anybody and it's free. You have questions, reach out to me. I'm busy. We can set up time. We can set up a Zoom. I can walk you through the process. Since I've been partnered with Nathan, it's multiple people that we sat down for 30 minutes to an hour to provide the information. And we also have partners in other states that we're not licensed in. So if you're in a specific state that I'm not licensed in, but you want the consultation, reach out to me and we'll set up a Zoom. And then I'll also be able to point you into lenders that are in your state that you're looking to purchase. But the key thing here is just really being able to provide information to our community. Because like I said, every time I talk to people and I tell them about the idea about them buying a duplex as a first time home buyer, they're like, "What? I can't afford that." I'm like, "Yes, you can. It's highly possible, right? You have the funding, you have been pre-approved. Don't use that fund to go and get a single family property. Use that to get a multifamily. And if you're fortunate, man, to get a triplex or quadplex, those things, people who have those, they're not selling them, right? Because they understand those things are a financial cash. Like you live in one, you rent out 3 units. Do you know what that does for you? Like literally, you don't have to work.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's. Oh, you want to say something, Joanne, before we take a break?
No. You go ahead.
Okay, let's take a break. And just to inform our audience, Optimal Learning is in partnership with KMTV. We are running a series of every month. We'll be bringing Randy on this network to discuss more, have the opportunity for you to learn more about how they can help you become a homeowner. Like you see a lot of programs they have buy now with zero down. He just explained how you can buy your home with zero down. There is a percentage that they provide, the government provide, even if you have the FHA and other conventional. Why buy a single family home? Randy White is here, marketing consultant, Optimal Learning, in partnership with KMT. We'll be running the series every month. Let's take a break from our sponsor. When we come back, we take more questions from Randy.
Let your celebration begin with Park Liquor Outlet, your first Liberian-owned liquor store in the city of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. We have everything that you need to set that special occasion up right. For your next party or great get-together with friends, visit Park Liquor Outlet. We have great selection of beer, wine, gin, and many more at affordable prices. Our customer service will make you always want to come back. We are open Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Park Liquor Outlet, your one-stop celebration store. We are located at 6315 Zine Avenue North, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Visit us today and feel the difference.
Hi, my name is Dr. Kent. Welcome to Brooklyn Chiropractic. Come to Brooklyn Chiropractic if you're having any back or neck pain. Especially, we specialize in treating people in auto and work-related injuries. So we've been established here in Brooklyn Center for the last 14 years. And one of the pleasures that I have is helping out in the community. We've sponsored a lot of events throughout the years in the community. And we really appreciate being a part of the community. So if you're experiencing any pain, give us a try. If you want a drug-free way to get better. Thank you.
Indeed, thanks to our sponsor, Pack Liquor Outlet, Brooklyn Chiropractics, Grateful Family African Market, Nathan Charles Insurance Agency. These are our partners on the Diaspora Talk. Randy White is here, marketing manager, director for Optimal Learning. Is providing us more detail on what the business can offer to our community. Let's continue our discussion here with Randy. Let's look at the other opportunity you have in terms of this pre-qualification and qualification. Run our audience through, because sometimes people get frustrated. They see they are pre-qualified after certain times, then they are denied.
Right. And it goes back to really being informed, because once you have the urge to be a homeowner, you're excited.
Yeah.
You get that pre-qualification letter. You want to start shopping right away. And what I tell people is that you want to get consultation to understand what are the elements, right, of your pre-qualification. Can you, if you have a credit score of 500, 550, 540, can you buy a home? Absolutely, you can buy a home. Would I recommend you do that? No. Reason why is, as we know, we live in a credit society, right? Your credit score is a reflection on your financial ability. And so while lenders will qualify you, you're going to be subjecting yourself to a higher interest rate. And so just imagine, right? You buy a home for $200,000 at a 9% interest rate versus someone who has great credit buy the same home, $200,000, but yet they get a 5% interest rate. A percentage point of an interest can add anywhere from $300 to $400 to your mortgage
A month?
a month. So imagine living you live in the same neighborhood with someone. This person is paying call it $900 a month because they purchased a $2,000 townhome with great credit. But you live right next to them, and your mortgage is 1,007, 1,008. So sometimes when you're not as informed and you make emotional decisions to own a home, after you've moved in that home now, reality set in, you start paying attention to that mortgage, and you're like, crap, if I had just waited 6 months to fix my credit, right, I would be looking at a $1,200 mortgage versus a $17,000 mortgage, right? And so those are some of the distress that can come from first-time home buyer. When they're not as informed, they don't understand the element of what is available to them. Another one that's very keen, it goes back to the first-time home buyer down payment assistance program. Where we live in a country where, especially if you work in manufacturing and things like that, no job is really guaranteed.
Yeah.
You want to always have emergency fund. Let's say you go in to purchase a home, and instead of the lender qualifying you and giving you access to 12, 13, $15,000 via the down payment assistance program, they see that you have $30,000 in your 401k. Like, okay, well, this person have $30,000 in the 401k. Use your 401k for the down payment. Now you buy a home.
They want money upfront.
Upfront, you use that money for your down payment. Situation hit, uncertainty happens. You've already depleted your emergency fund, right? These are some of the things that can happen that makes our first-time home buyer very subjected to foreclosure. It's not understanding all of the things that are really available to them, right? An informed first-time home buyer will take advantage through everything that they have available to them, will make informed decisions, are less likely to default on their home, right? And so those are some of the things when people sit down and have a conversation with me that I really preach to them, right?
You ready to
I
preach?
preach to them to say, listen, buying a home here, if you get it wrong, you're setting yourself back significantly, right? But if you get it right, you start to build and accumulate wealth in a very short period of time.
Okay, time is not in our favor. When we come back on our next segment, you educate us, our public, about this credit score.
Sure.
As you just mentioned, somebody paying $900 for mortgage for $2,000. I mean, $200,000 loan.
Right.
Then somebody paying $1,000 for. So you educate them more about this percentage how they can go about doing that. This free consultation you also offer. Now, is it right now the market is increasing rates? Is it a good time to buy?
When
Why
people
yes and why
when
no?
people ask me the question, my answer is always yes.
Yes,
My
definitely yes.
my answer is always
A
yes.
crazy market.
Keep in mind, I'm an investor,
Okay.
right? When the market, when it, us investors, when people are complaining about race and things like that, that's not my concern. I focus on the bottom line. But when it comes to home ownership, right? Few things that's happening, and I want people to take note of. Last year, about almost 30% of the home that was purchased in the U.S. was bought by corporations, not regular people like me and you. The reason why corporations are moving into purchasing these single family homes is because those people who travel, they now have a preference for Airbnb and not likely hotels. So the corporation now are changing their strategy from building bigger hotels to buying, holding, and renting these homes.
Hmm.
So first time home buyer have are going into a much aggressive and much difficult market. The rates, I'm hopeful that rates are going to come down, but I don't think those days of 5%, 2%, 3%, those days are gone from my perspective.
3.5%.
If you have mortgages with those rates, don't refinance, right? Because I don't within my forecast. I'm not saying when we'll be able to get those. Now I think is a good time to buy, but it's going to take you longer to get your property because you're competing with bigger corporation. You still have people like me who are investor who wants to get their hands on more assets, and then you have low inventory, right? Because of the prices of gas have gone up, builders are not building as much homes, and so there's limited availability out there. And so typically, where it would take you, 2 3 months to find a home, make an offer, get it accepted, it might take you 5 6 months, right? Just because there are a lot of competition out there. Yeah,
What
there
is
are a
the
lot of.
competition? Explain what is that?
Okay, so buying a home is like the traditional means of buying a home is like an auction.
Also,
It's like an auction. You have no idea who else is putting in their offer. You see a home, you like it, you put your offer in. There could be 50 offers on that home. And what I'm saying right now is there are different elements of offers, right? These larger corporations, they are coming to the table and making cash offers. So you're Nathan Charles, you have a house, you list it for 275. You have a FHA buyer that comes in wanting to give you 275, or you have a corporation that come in and giving you $270,000 cash. Most sellers would take the cash because guess what? If I accept the FHA buyer, there's a lot of qualification. This person can change their mind. They are protected by the regulations. They have to go through underwriting. Underwriting can come back and deny them. Now I can't do anything. Even if they gave me your earnest money, I got to give them the earnest money back. But with this cash offer, I take that money. We close in 30 days. I'm done. And so sellers will always have the tendency to accept cash offers, which the larger corporations they're buying. They're bringing to the table.
that's legal
It's
for
very
people to put higher money over the price.
Absolutely is legal. Now there are some things you want to keep in mind if it's being done. So fraud from a real estate perspective is broken down in two buckets: profit, for profit, or for property.
Yeah.
So if there are any ill-advised intent into people buying properties at value significantly higher than what the market
The
says,
CMA.
those things are being monitored, right? Especially if it's to force appreciation within certain demographic area, those things are being monitored, and people who are doing those can get their hands slapped and can get themselves into very deep trouble. So it's those are things that happens, but if you're caught, you're going to get penalized by the federal government.
So you are saying now it's a tough time for an individual like Nathan Charles. FHA process. He has to accumulate some huge cash to muscle those other guys then
Well, that's
doing it all for time.
right. Um, it's a competitive market. Let me just put it that way. It's a competitive market, but there are always possibilities, right? When you are informed, there's different ways to formulate your offers. There's different ways to formulate your offers. When you are informed, when you put an offer out there, there's some things that I share with people that will make your offers to stand out.
Yes, stand out.
So I gave you an example. As an investor, when I'm going to the table, if I'm buying a property for $200,000, I would give the seller an earnest money of $50,000.
Catch.
$50,000 with the offer.
Okay.
Why do I do that? To entice them, to let them know that I'm very serious, to let them know that hey, I'm not here to play games. So let's say the house is valued at $400,000. I bring an offer for $400,000 with an earnest money of $50,000. You bring an offer of $400,000 with an earnest money of 2,500. Who do you think the seller is going to accept? Going to accept me because clearly I've demonstrated to them that I'm very serious,
And he can tap on that money quicker
and he can tap on that money quicker.
soon the deal is closed.
Yep, and there are contingencies. One of the key contingencies that I flirt with, but um I don't take off the table is the inspection contingency.
Yeah.
When you're buying a home, traditionally, most first-time home buyer want to get an inspection done. If I'm an owner that has lived in a house for 15, 20 years and I haven't done any renovation or upgrades, I don't want you coming in there and telling me, hey, the faucet, this one's leaking, all of that.
Foundation
Right.
has cracks.
So what I do, I waive the inspection contingency and I give myself 48 hours to pull out of the offer. 48 hours is 2 days. The first day within 24 hours, I get an inspector in there. The contract is not binding on an inspection, but I get an inspector in there so that they can inform me of any key conditions that will make me pull out.
But now you're talking about as an investor, but with FHA, you need an appraiser.
Right.
And you need an inspection report.
Correct.
Once they don't reach that standard,
right,
you are not even qualified.
Correct.
To get that home.
Correct. But this is the reason why I'm sharing this is because there are some individuals out there who have purchased who have tried to purchase properties for 8-9 months and their offers are not being accepted. Right. And there are different things you can do to make your offers much more attractive. And stuff. So when you sit down and these are things that I'm going to share with you, totally is up to you which route you want to go, right? Because FHA is a federally funded program. Clearly, they are not going to allow you to do some of those things. However, if you make an offer on some of these duplexes or multifamily home and your offer get accepted, it's a blessing. Seriously, that asset is going to really change your whole financial trajectory.
Indeed, Randy White is here talking about lending, how he can help you provide that free consultation through his institution, Optimal Lending. They are here helping people providing free consultation. And this program will be here every other month. We'll bring Randy to discuss about all of your concerns, questions. I know some people who are not following this broadcast right now will go back on YouTube or Facebook. If you have questions, just paste them and we will ask Randy on our next edition on this program. This is a great opportunity. He said, buy now. The first thing is ready to buy a home right now. Buy now with zero down payment. They have the FHA, they have the refinancing, they have the conventional loan. We'll discuss all of these different kinds of loan on our next edition and how you can get ready, your credit score ready to tackle your first home or your conventional loan from the Optimal Lending Group there. The numbers are on the screen. As you see, the scroll text is rolling. That's the number 763-923-1629. You can take advantage of that, and it's good that you contact the Optimal Landing. They are here. Rennie is here to help you with all of what you need. So as we wind down this first segment, can you just summarize? The thing is, how are you helping our community? Why are you providing this free consultation and the opportunities you have for our people?
Sure. The main reason I'm making myself available is the realization that I've had. I've worked in I've worked in corporate America, understanding how you're working, you're seeing money, but you're struggling to make ends meet. You're working, paycheck to paycheck. It's just because I wasn't really diving into the right investment. I would say opportunities. Real estate, when it comes to wealth generation industry, real estate is number one. If you're in America and if you don't have the interest, you don't have the desire to invest in real estate, either actively or passively, it's something you should strongly consider. There's no other industry out there that generate wealth. All of the multi-millionaire billionaires, they are doing it through real estate primarily. And so as I've come along the journey, I want to be able to give information back to our community. I would like to see more Liberians start to play in the real estate investing space rather than just first time home buyer, right? Because you see this all the time. We buy a home, we have open house, everybody come celebrate, which is nice. But for my appetite, I want to see much more Liberians getting involved in actual real estate investment, and those are the things that I provide. That's why the free consultation is available, is to see people get involved. And I can tell you right now, there more and more people have had exposure to me in giving the access, in giving the information, and I've not done anything. But the few people that have done it, if you speak to them, they will tell you like, "Hey, my man, I did this thing 2, 3 years ago, and I'm telling you right now, it's working wonders." Right? And it's not complex. It's very, very simple. When you and I have talked, really breaking it down to the point where you're like, "Why haven't I done this?" Just imagine if I had given you this information 3 years ago. What position would you be in?
No better position.
And that's what I want to see in the Liberian community. Right? We have a good purchasing power in the Twin Cities. Liberians are working. We're earning money. But where is the money going? Are we building wealth, or are we helping other people build wealth? Right? And so that's kind of what I try to provide to people.
Indeed, Randy White is here from Optimal Lending. They are here to help you. Free consultation. So if you are in the Twin City, any part of the United States, contact Randy. He will be here on our program every other month to provide you more information. You can also contact us at KMTV. We are in partnership with Randy, providing you these services and free consultation. Hey, it's just 30 minutes. Knowledge is power. Like he said, real estate is one of the world's highest wealth generation. So if you want to stop that 9 to 5 job, you want to build generational wealth, you have to invest. Most people think it's 9 to 5 job can get you where you are right now. You're building you're building the empire of
Right.
other people. There's a famous saying: if you don't use your head to acquire wealth, other people will use your head to acquire wealth.
Yeah.
That's why people like Randy, who have had a bad experience, want to set a new example for those immigrants who are coming here. America is a land of opportunity, the land of the free,
Yeah.
the home of the brave, and how we can benefit from that. It was nice talking to you, Randy. We hope to get you back here.
Thank you.
The flyers are all in KMTV office. If you can contact us, the numbers are there on the screen. You can see it. Optimal Landing. Feel free, share it. It may not be you who want to buy a home or who want to have this free consultation. Tell your friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Your boyfriend to tell his girlfriend, girlfriend to tell her gopa, or gopa to tell her goma. Let the message go, whatever way we can do. We will be into the churches, we will be into the mosques, into the community at the African store, giving you this information because we want you to be empowered and now get out of the apartment complex. Rent are going up. I know in 2014 when I came to the US, it was $800. Now it's 1,004, 1,002. They call it 1,200. So, and that's just another person mortgage. So we'll talk more about this. We are begging you, take advantage of this opportunity. Let's build wealth. Real estate is one of the world's highest wealth generation. Other people are doing it. We too, we can do it. And we at KMTV would like to say thanks to Randy and his team. We hope that other companies, real estate agents, Reality 32, and other people who will partner with will come on this platform to educate
the community.
Because education is power. Have yourself a great time. My colleague Cyrus McGill, Joanne Prowse are also affiliated with the Diaspora Talk. My name is Nathan Charles. Have yourself a wonderful day. Let's leave you with a message from our sponsor.
Let your celebration begin with Fat Liquor Outlet, your first Liberian-owned liquor store in the city of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. We have everything that you need to set that special occasion or bride. For your next party or great get-together with friends, visit Fat Liquor Outlet. We have great selection of beer, wine, gin, and many more at affordable prices. Our customer service will make you always want to come back. We are open Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Fat Liquor Outlet, your one-stop celebration store. We are located at 6315 Zine Avenue North, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Visit us today and feel the difference.
Hi, my name is Dr. Kent. Welcome to Brooklyn Chiropractic. Come to Brooklyn Chiropractic if you're having any back or neck pain. Especially, we specialize in treating people in auto and work-related injuries. So we've been established here in Brooklyn Center for the last 14 years. And one of the pleasures that I have is helping out in the community. We've sponsored a lot of events throughout the years in the community, and we really appreciate being a part of the community. So if you're experiencing any pain, give us a try if you want a drug-free way to get better. Thank you.